I think there are more and more women who are interested in auto industry because there are many nice cars coming. If you look even at motorcycles, if you look at the Harley ownership club or the Royal Enfield club, there's more and more women in there. So India is changing as a demographic. I think the more you get women interested in automobiles, not just because they are carried from one place to another, but they love the thrill and excitement of owning a car and driving it or driving a motorcycle, then they'll get into how it works and the passion of that. It starts with that interest, and once that is built, I think slowly they will start to move into the industry also. I think it is something that needs to be addressed at 3 different levels. You know, historically, women in auto industry have been taken primarily because they see it has been mandated at the board level or something like that. Or second, maybe it looks different and there is a community logic to do it, that I must have certain positions which are filled with females so that I can, they are positions which are shown to be primarily with females so that it shows that this company is also employing females at senior level. That's also in my mind a wrong logic. I think if you start with just mandated or community logic, it won't work. There is an economic logic, and that is what is driving for a company like us to be very focused on it. Let me be honest with you. I mean, it's easier to hire a guy and get him employed, and you don't have to worry about, okay, what are the things that he will require and go on, because this is how work has been. And there are at 3 levels, at senior management level, at entry engineer level, and at the vocational level. I think at senior management level, we have a couple. For example, we have Madhavi, who is a regional manager, who is an outstanding regional manager. I mean, she is beating my competition in their home turf. So we're just promoting her to a zonal manager, and I'm very proud of her. I've heard so many positive things about her from the customers. In fact, at a wedding, I met her at a dealer's cousin's wedding. We met her with my wife, and I was introducing her to my wife, and I said, it was very important that she knew that she's in this position not because she is a female. She's in this position because she has outperformed everybody else in the toughest market. So they can deliver. It is proven that selling a truck by a female is possibly the most difficult thing to do, and she does a fantastic job. At the next level, I would say at the engineer level, we have graduate engineer trainees which come in. We are now, our newest batch has 20% female. In the past, we would go to colleges and say, any female mechanical engineer we would like to hire, because it brings a certain kind of sanity into the thinking, certain creativity into the thinking, and there are certain functions which they can do much better than men. I strongly believe that, whether it's electronics or software, the thinking level is different, assembly techniques. But nobody was interested. But slowly you can start to see that as the car is becoming more and more electronics, lot more design features. Even a truck has got so many design features, how you design the bezel, how does the light look. I mean, people never bought a truck for how it looked. But for now, slowly things are changing. Everybody is now making a truck and a bus look good, so it is attractive to the child. If it's a school bus, it's attractive to the driver of a large truck. And those cues can best come from a female. Equally, the bus or a truck has a lot more electronics, lot more software. They're very good at it, and there's a lot more penetration of females in that, in those kind of subjects. So it is better to bring them in because they're good productivity. They are greater at stickiness to the talent. That's one of the things that's very important. Contrary to popular belief that, okay, the girls will get married, they'll leave, or they'll have children and family and they'll leave. If you hire them into your company, into a particular city, there's more likely for them to stay than a man, because he'll go out to some other higher studies or someplace else. So economic logic makes sense. Again, I keep coming back to this, that do not hire a female because somebody has told you to do this, or somehow it looks good for the environment or for the community. Do it because it makes economic sense to you. You're not doing somebody a favor, you're doing yourself a favor. And that's the way I look at it. And the most important thing, Deepshika, is that this is not a one-time solution. This is going to take us 10, 15 years. So one of the things that we have done, for example, in Ashok Leyland, in our Pantnagar facility, we have a blessing scheme where we hire 10+2 graduates from different remote parts of the hills. And we mandated that 20% of this must be female. And in the beginning, we were like, wait a minute, we mandated this, it's going to be very difficult. It taught us so much stuff. We didn't know, that you have to build a proper medical clinic for women inside the factory. We never had built a factory like that. Washrooms and all that is okay, but beyond that, then one of the girls was pregnant because she was married at the shop floor. How do you deal with a pregnant lady on the shop floor? Nobody knows. So these are things that we learned. In fact, I admitted to the HR lady there, said, look, and she was also the warden, that we as a company, we as an industry have no shame in admitting that we don't know how to manage this. You please help us, you please tell us what is required. So she mentioned that it is difficult for them at the end of the shift to go out to their apartment in an auto, and a bunch of them sort of crowd in here. It's difficult for them to take public transport. So we approached the government and we put up the country's first on-site girls hostel. It's fabulous. The girls designed it themselves. I'm not allowed inside even to plant a tree. I have to bring my wife to plant a tree. But it's amazing how much transformation I have seen in the girls from when they have joined 4 years ago to now the first batch graduated. Confidence, they speak in fluent English from when they didn't speak a word of English, dressed impeccably, they are operating millions of dollars of equipment, they can program CNC machines. And the beauty was, I asked them, how many of you want to remain in Pantnagar? They said, not one. Every single one wants to go see the world, they want to travel to different parts. The toppers were girls, so we brought them into the top 10%, we bring them to our R&D. Equally, how it helped us design the plant better. Because one of the things we wanted was that the plant to have absolutely world-class ergonomics. So no machine should be difficult to operate and so on. So we asked the girls to test it. If she cannot operate, nobody can operate. Now, my guys will probably be upset with if I share this, but we had one gearbox assembly area and the women were consistently beating the guys in terms of productivity and quality. So it's not that they are working hard just to prove a point. They are good at certain things. And if you treat them as equals, they don't want to be treated as, please give me some special permission or quota or reservation or some special perks. Treat them with respect for who they are and treat them as equals, saying that this is the job that needs to get done and they will deliver. I remember telling everyone in my organization that you are in that position not because you are a female, but you are in that position because you have been identified to have the best talent and capability to execute that job. And I believe if we address this at all three levels, at senior management level, hire talent that can lead the organization, at mid-management level, hire those people at engineering level because the industry is changing to be more electronics and more design oriented. And also at the vocational level, unless we address it at these three levels and address it because it's beneficial to the company and not beneficial to the girls, then only we will make a drastic change in this, and it's required. I think all engineering companies must visit engineering colleges and selectively address the girls. Look, I am saying address it from the company standpoint, be proactive. Don't say there are no girls to recruit, so I won't go. Go and do a recruitment program focused on girls. Get them, understand why in the beginning we also had a very high attrition. Why is there an attrition? Learn from that, improve upon that, go back. And once they start to become role models, then take them on your recruiting trip. They are the best salesmen for that. I think things are changing, and for us to sit back and say, well, there's nobody available and hence I'm not going to do, is a cop-out. That's probably a wrong way to look at it. Make an effort. Again, I say that make an effort not because it looks good for you in the community, but make an effort because it will bring you better economic sense. In my previous company, we were mandated to have one direct reportee as a female at every level. And that company was delivering outstanding shareholder returns. Now, is this linked to that? I don't know. But it's also to say that it's not creating anything negative. You won't give it anything credit for positive, but at least you can't say it's negative. I will give them two messages very clearly. Do it because you see an economic benefit. If you start with the mindset that, boss, I need to do it to help somebody and I have to create something because the government will look at me badly or the community will look at me badly, that's a wrong start. You made a mistake right in the beginning. Start with the mindset that I need to do it because makes economic logic. And second, whoever it is there, don't treat them publicly or even in person as I'm giving you a special treatment because you are a girl. The girls don't expect it, and you don't start with the feeling that they expect it, so I should do something different. They expect it to be treated as equals in all shapes, and if it's a tough job, give them. And my guarantee is that you give them the right challenge and the right resources, they'll deliver results at least as good as the boys, if not better.